Josh basically just said, "Move, bitch, get out the way." It's the motherfucker player haters ball. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Josh, how could you say that about the wife? She's not a bitch. But let's get into it. Joshua here, taking people's number one spot like he knows something. Like he owns a motherfucker. I gotta tell y'all, these offensive numbers are sucking again today. But let's wait. Yeah. Here, let me watch that out. Let's break down week 3. Then we'll get into week 4. See, here's the beauty, guys, when you have a little secret stash of Girl Scout cookies. Keep them away from your kids in the refrigerator that they're not allowed to use. You can have Girl Scout cookies in April. Isn't that nice? Let's get into it. Week 3 came and went. And for bench warmers, he turned it into a nice little victory by 9 over Mandalorians. Let's see how close this one was. Sorry, trying to wrap my head around getting some energy here. I will take note mentally of the amount of home runs that were hit by who led the way, because I think I just seen who did not have a lot of home runs, because there was not a lot of offense last week. It felt like not a lot of power anyways. Manny, why are you gone? Are you having a baby too? Oh my gosh, Manny Machado's having a baby. Look at that. That means him and his wife or girlfriend and Bryce Harper and his wife and girlfriend had sex on the same day 9 months ago. Is that right? I think that's how it works, right? No. Somebody get back to me. Let me know. I'm pretty sure I read it in a book. Anyways, Josh came out and said, I won the number 1 spot, and he took on Scott last week. It's pretty close. Scott, don't be downtrodden by this. Some runs you did lack, but what is that? Jung Ho Lee? He hooked you up. Juan Soto? He hooked you up. But for the most part, man, 10 stolen bases? My God. Julio Rodriguez got 4. Lane Thomas got 2. I thought I drafted a fast team, but apparently not. And look at that. Drop Jordan Westberg. He picks him up, and that dude's been going off. It's crazy. And Mullins, who would have thought? 2 Baltimore guys. Excuse me. Lord have mercy. Lost a catcher this week. Another one, Francisco Alvarez. Who'd you pick up? Jeffers. Okay. Good deal. Pitching. Good close numbers, but a 2 dot. Very nice. Couldn't get those strikeouts, though. Mandalorians, that's the only one that he took. Tied in home runs with 4 apiece for you two gentlemen. And we move along, and that's why Josh is now in number 1 spot. Let me try to remember who was the matchup of the week. I want to say it was Shane and Rally Monkeys, but I could be wrong. And this is where we find our least amount of home runs and not a lot of offense. Poor Shane. 1 home run, and it happened on a day when he only had 1 batter. Jonah Heim hit him a home run on the only day that, apparently everybody chose to travel, or that Major League Baseball scheduled it as a traveling day. Then we also got a PPD. But look at that beautiful ERA, a 1.68, 77 strikeouts. He went toe to toe with the pitching guru, if you will, the guy who every season just always seems to have the best pitching stats and then gets batting stats from fucking Peter Cottontail and other fairy tale creatures. And that Schwarber, man, that batting average, terrible. But my God, does he hit for power. Goodness. Shane, you hung tight and tough in there. Just, you pulled out the victory with the better stats. Now, looking at your roster, I mean, we both know that Austin Riley's going to turn it around. Do we know that Paul Goldschmidt is going to? I think I mentioned this in the First Base podcast preview. I think there was a mention of the fact that Paul Goldschmidt, is getting a little old. His numbers are going to start declining now. Now, granted, last year he did his thing and was actually very good. So let's just call it what it is. He's probably just off to a really unconventional, un-Paul Goldschmidt slow start. But hey, you got Ryan Mountcastle, so that works out for you. Jose Altuve is going to give you some power, and then he's not. And his team's going to bounce back. So if you have Houston Astros players and you're disappointed, calm down. They'll be just fine, in my opinion. Although, fuck the Astros, right? Again, you had some really good pitching numbers pop up. How about that Sanchez? That dirty Sanchez. Nestor Cortez gave you a nice little bounce back. And then Michael King. You know, Walker and I had conversations about a trade. I don't know what happened, Walker. Did you just no longer want to trade anymore? I saw that you offered up Zach Wheeler, who was a part of our conversation, but then all of a sudden it just disappeared. It faded into the wind. I'm honestly quite disappointed. What the heck happened? You had Jordan Hicks pitch against Arizona, and that boy didn't get you one strikeout the other day against Arizona. My goodness. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about Mikasa Sukasas. He has come all the way back from being at the bottom. Come on, it's Nick. To now being in the top 6. Last week, though, he went toe-to-toe with Sean, and Sean actually gave him a pretty good, nice little fight. They both tied in runs and RBIs, and Hitman beat him by 1 home run. And look at that, another fast team. Ellie De La Cruz is on your team, though, yes. And Kyle Tucker, still in bags? Okay, I see you, Kyle. Yeah, we see Shohei Ohtani doing things. How about the rookie sensation Colton Cowser? A lot of us were like, Wyatt Langford is going to be putting up what Colton Cowser is doing, and that is not the case. Colton Cowser, again, another Baltimore Oriole that's just putting up stupid numbers right now. Oh, Nick. What can we say about Nick's team? If it weren't for Trey Turner and you picking up some Taylor Ward, I don't know if you'd be lasting. Just saying. Tristan Casas goes to the DL. And he's in a good deal of pain. So if he goes to the DL, do you have to change your team name? I mean, he's on the DL. I've been saying DL. My apologies to the disabled. It's now injured. The injured list. Please forgive me. But very close all across the board in the pitching stats as well. 3.05 for one Nick to 3.73 by 1 strikeout was this. So, man, this might be a good spot to see did we get a oops anywhere. Left another Michael Busch home run. Ooh, you left another Michael Busch home run, and you would have won runs, tied home runs, and 1 RBIs. My, Nick. Maybe you should play that kid. Okay. That's a little bit of an oopsie, sir. You oopsed on that one. Got to watch your oops. I would imagine that everybody's playing their pitchers, so it's going to be kind of hard to, and a Ellie De La Cruz home run. Wow. Because you finally decided to play Michael Bush and you missed out on an Ellie De La Cruz. Man, that's got to be a hard decision to make. Sorry about that, Nick. Sorry for your loss. Sorry for 2 home runs sitting on your bench. Again, Thursday. Man, it was just not a fun day to be a baseball fan, right? On a Thursday? Come on, Major League. Do better. Do better. And you left Vinny Pasquantino on your bench. Ooh. Now you're going to have to play him. Left out Boyle. Boyle got 3 strikeouts, but ooh, Lord, he jacked up that ERA that day. So you might have, you won the strikeouts anyway, so good for you. Good for you. And he left a home run by Bryce Terang on his bench. That would be Sean. So some stats left on the bench in this matchup. I didn't look at the other 2. Sorry. Moving on. Rayford played swinging low, and let me go ahead and tell you from personal experience of dealing with one Eric Croft, I can tell you right now that he is bathing in a bath full of victory because he feels like he just took down the number 1 team in our league, and trust me, he will bring it up the next time we speak. In 6 weeks, he will say, well, I played Ray and she was the number 1 team at the time. And look at that. I beat her. 5-4 was the score. Rayford Peaches. Whoo. She just did not hold her own. Like, what was her deal last week? What's her problem? My goodness. She left a few stats on the bench, but, very close in some stats. Pitching, they tied in wins, they tied in RBIs, they tied in quality starts. Eric with that 4.73, almost a 5 dot in the era. Left a home run on his bench from Ian Happ. That would have turned a few points his way. That's a nice little oops for you, sir. Have some oops, why don't you, Eric? What about Ra? Did she get an oops? Let's see. Thursday, again, no oops really to be had by anybody. Better not. You should have been able to play everybody. Another oops when he left off Francisco Lindor. I don't really see. Okay, she left the Connor Joe home run off on the bench. That could have won her an RBI. Could have at least tied it. But yeah, Eric put some stats up there and left some out. I looked, honey. Your batting stats, you didn't really leave anything on the bench. I went day by day. That's where I'm usually finding them. Yeah. Left a little cut, a stolen base here and an RBI there, but you won stolen bases and you missed out on an RBI. Honestly, Eric had the bigger oops in this matchup. And Eric won 5-4. So trust me when I say he's celebrating in a bathtub somewhere. I don't know why. He's just been in a bath for a long time. How about Jason? Jason, let's give you props, bro. 3rd place right now. You're a team that's a force to be reckoned with, in my opinion. You've got a nice, decent balance. As I've looked across every week that we have played, your team has been pretty much a consistent constant with both good pitching stats and batting stats. And last week it showed because you split right down the middle with Jesus, the batting stats. And Jesus has some pretty good batters. But the pitching, you took everything that was available to you except you tied in quality starts and the strikeouts. So again, 1 strikeout, 1 quality start, and boom, those are all yours. You got good numbers from Jackson Churio. Not going to hit for average, but definitely hits for power. Look at Adolis Garcia doing his thing. And then you switch over and you got another Baltimore Oriole and Gunnar Henderson doing his thing. Alec Boehm had a nice day at the dish one day. And Mike Trout just continues to show the world you should have put me up higher in the rankings. Yeah. Can't really call this one and say that there's like an oops because I haven't looked them up yet. Left Candelario home run on the bench, troubleshooters. But again, RBIs was really dominated by Jason in this one, almost 10. We're going to call that number 8. Yeah, I got into Wednesday. I haven't really seen anything that would have turned the tide for either one of you. Again, Thursday. How many times are we going to say it? What a bleak, just nasty day to be a baseball fan. Like, just not cool. And we're on Saturday, 420. Yeah. So this one, pretty much good management from you two guys. Left off the home run from Bogaerts. But again, he won home runs, so it wouldn't have mattered. And getting those 2 ribbies wouldn't have mattered either. So Jason, forced to be reckoned with, in my opinion. Somebody to watch out for. Watch out. And last but not least, myself and Brian, we had ourselves a very good matchup indeed. I tell you, Brian, this was a close one. And it really sucked on the last day because I was hoping to at least maybe grab some wins or a win to tie you in wins. But Frankie Montas takes a comebacker from Taylor Ward. What? The first inning, like he had gotten the first 2 outs. That sucks. But this one was close, my friend. I only beat you by 1 home run, 1 stolen base. The average and OBP, it was very, very, a big nail biter. And then I traded you, Naylor, and that dude ends up going off for you, getting you 2 home runs and 7 RBIs, making things very interesting coming down the stretch. Good team though, solid numbers, 2 in the ERA, 65 strikeouts, got some good pitching stats from guys like Barrios. Castillo finally had a good bounce back. How about old Cutter Crawford? What a baseball name. I love it. Solid batting stats coming from Ha-Sung Kim, and Ronald Acuna's waking up a little bit, maybe a little bit. And myself, Salvador Perez. Thank you, Brian. Abrams. Yeah, I'm going to have to play C.J. Abrams over Corey Seager for right now. Crazy to think about. Poor old Corey Seager probably came back way too soon. And relief pitchers are back on my roster for a couple of days. Who knows when they will depart? I don't know. But they're back. I feel like we do this every year. 8-4 was our final score, keeping me in the top 6, but dropping Brian out of the top 6. But Brian, I have a feeling you will return, sir. Speaking of returning and how to get back in or get in the top 6 would be week 4 and your matchups. Ooh, I've got an RBI. All right. Thank you, Cattell Marte. I appreciate you and all that you do for my team. Anyways, let's look at the matchups this week. And we will pick a matchup of the week, one to watch. I think this is one. Myself versus the wife, number 4 versus number 2. Number 2. These nuts and Rayford Peaches. We're facing off against one another. And then how about bench warmers and Nick? Man, this matchup is way more important in my opinion. This is a matchup of titans. Let's go, my friends. Bench warmers and Mikasa Sukasas. That's the matchup of the week, right? That's the one to keep your eye on. Shane is looking to try to bounce back against Bro, the Hitman, in an 8th and 9th place battle. And Scott is looking to do some damage against Jesus. Get out of that number 11 spot. Number 11 and number 12. The only way to rise to the top is to start somewhere. So this is for you two gentlemen. Depending on your victory, will you get out of your spot? Just look at old Eric. He wins by 1 and gets out of 12th just like that. Jason is facing off against Brian. Again, I feel like this is going to be a good matchup as well. Right now, it looks like Brian has a nice lead of 10-0, but it's only Monday, so we won't freak out. But another good sidebar. Whoa, that was crazy. When you watch a score change, all these numbers just like go crazy on the screen. Wow. Eric will be facing off against Chris, so trust me when I say the bullshit talk will come a-flying. So that one's going to be good as well. Walker trying to stay relevant. He's in 5th place right now with teams like Brian nipping at his heels and Shane trying to get up in there. Eric, of course, is wanting nothing more than to say, I went back to back, took down Ray and Raleigh. So injuries are still popping up, man. They're flying like crazy. We just lost another pitcher, Merrill Kelly, I believe, might be headed to the DL from one Shane's team. That Hunter Green, man, he strikes people out, but my God, he cannot stop giving up runs. Lord have mercy. Have mercy. Anyways. Apparently, if you're in the crowd and you yell at an umpire, you have an opportunity to possibly get a coach thrown out of a game. Because you might sound like that coach. What a shame. That umpire should get fired. They should all get fired, in my opinion. There should be, again, you should have a term. If you can only have a president in office for a total of 8 years, 2 terms, as a baseball umpire, you should probably get that job for maybe 10 to 15 years, and then you're out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Go back and do something else. Go sell insurance, damn it. Your eyes are decrepit and old. Think about being outside all day in the heat for 162 games. Now, obviously, I'm not an idiot. I know that some of those games are played indoors, but my God. I don't know where that, people have bad eyes. You suck at your job. Apparently, you got bad ears, too. Don't even know who the hell somebody is yelling at you just because it's in the general direction. Dipshit. That probably is one of my favorite words. Dipshit. God, it just rolls off the tongue. Such beauty and grace. Dipshit. What a dipshit. Tell you who's a dipshit right now. Matt Olson. He's a dipshit. I'm about tired of his shit. He's about to take a seat. But I can't put him down right this second because Bryce Harper decided that he wants to have a baby. Oh my gosh. What an idiot. What an idiot. What else do we have to talk about? I don't know. Look at that. Ray just got a run. Great. And it's Marcell Ozuna. All right. All right. Let's go. It's Braves up 2-0. Let's go. We could talk about some transactions real quick. Trades have been made. I love trading, although I hate trading too. But I cannot believe, I have to say, I cannot believe that Eric wanted to trade. He wanted to trade Bryce Harper. I have no idea why. Now, did I give up a potential top 10 player in Corbin Carroll? Sure. But to trade away somebody that has been his baby, his guy on his team, I was kind of taken aback. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. There we are. Finally, we get there. Tristan McKenzie got dropped. I get it, but he got dropped like a bad habit. It's crazy. He's sitting out there pitching through an injury, and he actually pitched a pretty good game the other day. Can't believe it. But these trades, the most recent one, Tyler Anderson and Yusei Kikuchi for Ronaldo Lopez. Trades happening What day was this? Not April 19th and 18th? Yeah. Brian, welcome. He's good to trade with. I like that. Frankie Montas, what a bunch of hot garbage. Goodness. Let's look at some players. Who's out there? Who's available? Who do you need? How about Jesse Winker? Okay. You need some of those stats? Need an outfielder? 13 runs, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, batting .328, playing on the Nationals. Do you need that guy? What about Blaze Alexander? How about him? Well, now he's day-to-day. Jesus. They're dropping like flies. Dalton Varsho's got some pretty good numbers. Kerry Carpenter, I think he's the better outfielder on that Detroit team. I'm not sure. Riley Green needs to show me something, Nugan. Travis d'Arnaud, need a catcher? I saw that you just lost another catcher there. You went and picked up Jeffers. Why didn't you entertain Travis d'Arnaud? Huh? What about pitchers? Anybody need a pitcher? I see that pitchers are dropping fast. Who might you need from the pitching column? Starting pitchers. Here we go. Let's see. We'll get there eventually. Patrick Sandoval. Don't want to touch that ERA. No, sir. Thank you. Good Lord. The top, well, those are strikeouts, but no, thank you. Graham Ashcraft, he had one good game, and he went back to being Graham Ashcraft again. Ugh, these ERAs for some people. Poor Shane Bieber. Man, we hardly knew you. Eric Fetty, he looks all right. Plays on a shitty team, but he's got some good numbers. Trevor Williams, I see you with that 2 dot. It's close to a 3, but still, that's a fairly decent number. Pitches on a shitty team, but he's got 2 wins. Hey, Trevor Williams, might want to think about it. Might want to hold on to that one. I don't know if I like it. There are worse pitchers out there than there are good pitchers. I'll tell you that much right about now. And speaking of right about now, that's about it. That's about all I got. NFL draft is this week. I was able to meet a couple cool Jacksonville Jaguars today. One Roy Robertson Harris, the long snapper Ron. What I can't remember his name. He just sat in front of me, but I knew it was a long snapper. And Christian Kirk, seen him today too. That was cool. I don't think we have anything else. There's some baseball on right now. I might try to go watch me some baseball. I feel like I always forget something. Speaking of which, I got a thing on my phone. Is this Sean? Sean, is your birthday coming up? Shane, let me know. Sean, is your birthday coming up? I think it says the 29th. Is that you, Sean? I only know a couple of Seans, so I don't know. Anyways, hope everybody has a good week. That's week 4 preview, week 3 recap, and yeah, we're done. It's the motherfucker. Hey.